What's up, y'all? I'm Andre, and welcome to Balm After Hours, episode 3. Really around different people. Yeah, that's what code switching is. Code switching is when you talk in a certain manner around one set of people to fit in. It's really a mechanism to fit into a certain crowd. And just to give you an example, it's like, say I'm with a group of friends where I talk a certain way, use certain slang. I wouldn't use that at like a job interview where I want to speak very formal. So yeah, that's what code switching is. So I just want to start off with a question. Has anyone like had any experience with code switching, like in their life?
I am a goated code switcher. I do that without having to manually flip the switch in my brain. It just happens. Um, it happens not only within like friend environments and professional environments, but between my friend groups. Like I talk to two different friend groups completely differently. As much as I hate it, and I'm kind of growing out of it, it does happen.
Oh,
Like, and definitely in professional environments, like I can be as chill, use as much slang as I want to with my friends within an environment like this, but without even thinking, when it comes to interviews or professional things for school or for my work, the flip has been switched. We're talking differently now. And honestly, I'd like to grow out of that because I just feel like it shouldn't make a difference whether I talk with AAVE or not. But a lot of people aren't conditioned to think that way. So
Hello, I volunteer as a tribute. I've been code switching all my life. I've literally almost every single day. I would go to school with mainly white crowd where I have to assimilate, or I have to speak more proper. Yeah. Are you guys okay? Kind of talk like this, and then I go home and just say whatever. Do what I know. Um, Not even just between races, but like between different age groups, talking, it's a difference between being respectful to older people and completely changing who you are to make them more comfortable. As I would like to respect my elders, I we also have to understand that we're also like people and we deserve respect also. Like just code switching everywhere between friend groups. I know not to say act a certain different way with this friend group. Just the same way Jada had described it. Very disgusting. Um as much as I would like to get I actually don't think I want to get rid of it. Um I would like to get rid of the fact that I have to do it, but like in order to survive in this place we call America, I'm gonna have that skill. I'm gonna have to be able to switch and turn a knob whenever I need to. So yeah.
yeah, I definitely. Oh, go ahead, Kyla.
You was talking like you could go. Like, I was
Okay.
just go after you.
Um, yeah, I code switch regularly. I feel like professionally within my own home, like when I'm talking to my friends, I very much talk differently when I'm with my friends than when I'm with at home. I've always been the person that people kind of say that like, oh, you talk like a white person, or you talk very proper, or yeah, and that used to get on my nerves. I've always been called some form of white person, whether it be the music that I listen to, the way that I speak, the way that I carry myself. And that stuff is damaging and it's annoying to always hear. But yeah. and especially because my father, he's very like adamant when it comes to grammar and how you speak. And whenever you would speak in some type of slang or um use improper grammar, he'll correct it. And he doesn't want to hear you say it again, otherwise there'll be a problem or he'll get upset or whatever. And then the next time he'll correct you again. And it's like I was so conditioned to correct my grammar, like and the way that I spoke, that I think that kind of translated into, oh, you speak like a white person.
What else? Sorry, Kyla. Go ahead.
Oh, dang, I don't know what I was gonna say. Oh, okay. I've never really experienced the whole code switching thing. I feel like it was something that may have came up when I was younger, but never really stuck. It gets to a point where for me, like when I'm talking to somebody in a professional manner, I just know not to use the slang that I would use with my friends. But I feel like when I think about code switching, I think about the little voice that a lot of our parents did when they was on the phone with like important people. That's what I talk. That's what I see as code switching. I've seen people do it. Like I can't recognize it, but I don't recognize it in my own life. I'm definitely very much so, hey, you're gonna get this voice. I am gonna throw in a couple more words, but that's also how I talk. You can ask my friends. I'm a very like stickler for a lot of different things. You're gonna text me, it's gonna sound like you're talking to an English teacher, and that's how I like it. So maybe I don't necessarily have it like, yeah, this may be my topic that I gotta sit out.
For me, let me put this camera. I just listen. Don't edit this out. People watching this, my back hurts so bad. Oh my god. Okay. Anyway, as far as code switching, I think that I'm not the greatest at it. I think a lot of times, like I know I'm in a setting where it's just like, okay, get it together. But sometimes I feel it like depending on where it is, it's like who gonna beat me up? But I think that at the same time, I am very good. Like I don't talk how I talk, to my friends like the same way I talk to my mother, or when no, I don't. Or when I don't talk to my friends how I talk when I'm calling restaurants asking them if they're hiring or if they see my
That's
application.
because you don't call them.
Yes, I do.
I got
I
the video.
spent all summer
You don't
calling
call
Dunkin'
them.
Donuts at Five Below, and here I am still unemployed. Please.
You don't call them.
I do. Just because you made them reservations for my party don't mean I can't talk to them grown people.
And you had me call Chick-fil-A in the middle of math too. Don't play.
Oh, that don't count.
Call them again the next day.
Look, anyway, all I'm trying to say is, yeah, I think it's a very valuable skill to have, though. Like, I don't think it's a skill that we should have to have. Like, I think that our dialect and the way that we choose to talk should be fine wherever we go. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily like, the vulgar things, obviously, put a hold on that, but like just, you know what I'm saying? That shouldn't be something that we should have to have. And I seen something I don't know where it came from, but it was like code switching and seeing students have to code switch. They should be awarded. This is such an important and valuable skill or something like that. It was on Twitter, I think. I don't know. It was a teacher that said it. And I was just like, I mean, yeah, but why? You know what I'm saying? I'll find it. I'll provide receipts in a minute. But I just don't think that's a skill that we should have to have unless like we're around our parents. That makes sense, because I'm not gonna be like, well, yeah, you're right. No. Just like when it comes to vulgar things in certain language.
I just would like my award. Like, please.
For what?
Bring it here for code switching.
Oh.
Well, nigga, bro,
Bro, what if they had scholarships for that? They probably do. We should look into that.
I'm gonna look into that.
That's racist. I just feel like that's racism. Like, y'all ever seen a white person code switch? No, that's called a black accent. That's called you want to be black. Me having to change the way I talk because I walk into a room. When do y'all code switch? Who are y'all around? You're not code switching to talk to your mama. Who are y'all around? the white man. Why are y'all changing y'all voice for that white man paperwork? I cannot get it. Like, you see what I'm saying? I feel like we shouldn't. I'm not saying that y'all did it because y'all. That's not what I'm saying. Because they're trying to eat me up. No, hear me out.
No.
All I'm saying is we shouldn't be applauded for code switching. Love, that comes along with racism. Does anybody not see it like that? Because that's immediately what I saw.
I mean, it's obviously racism.
Yeah.
It's obviously that's obviously
So
where.
why are we applauding racism?
I wasn't saying that. I'm just saying that was like a teacher.
That's what
Are you
I'm
talking
saying.
about the
No,
teacher?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying the teacher.
Oh.
Ariana's not applauding racism.
Yeah.
I'm saying more so like the whole we should give awards for code switching. That doesn't make sense to me. It shouldn't have to be done in the first place. Yes, don't curse around in job interviews. There's a time and a place for everything. Leave the slang at the door. But you went in there and talking like you from Orland and you from 39 should not be done unless that's how you speak.
I wasn't gonna try and eat you up. I just wanted to add in why do we want the white man's paperwork? Why do we want the white man's paperwork?
I gotta stop saying that word. I'm sorry.
Like, I don't know. I definitely agree. Code switching is definitely a branch of racism. I was conditioned to code switch because of my position where I was surrounded by white kids 24/7. Like Mari said, had to pull the white voice out, if you will, which is most definitely why I would like to get rid of it in a sense. Like, because like everybody else said, we know not to use slang in certain situations, but the way that I present my voice, my voice, the way that it is, shouldn't have to change based on where I am. And yet it does, because I feel as though I can say I feel as though that people are going to look at me differently professionally, or I don't really care socially, but mostly professionally, if I don't speak a certain kind of way or tune my voice to sound the way that it will, in that sense.
Right. That kind of leads into a question that I was just thinking about asking. Like, where do you guys think, for your personal experience, you guys kind of sort of answered this already, but it's like, where does this idea of having to code switch come from? You know, like for me, I know it was taught to me at a very young age by my family, right? Not only am I supposed to talk in front of like a certain way in public, but like even in front of my parents, like differentiating between talking to my parents and my friends, you know? It's like, I know I use like some slang in both situations, but it's like there are formalities that you're supposed to take with your parents that you wouldn't take with your friend, you know? So like, I just wanted to, yeah, that's the question, but go ahead, Kyla.
Yeah, we kind of touched on this already. I mean, most black kids raised the same. Our parents are not our friends, and they make that very clear. But you don't gotta pull out the interview voice to talk to your mama. Like, I feel like, where is that coming from? And then, but that also goes back to how you're supposed to respect your elders. You're supposed to speak a different way when you're talking. Like, and I understand that you shouldn't be sliding small slang into conversations with people who just don't understand it because they don't know what you're talking about. Like, I think you cussing them out and you're just asking them how their day was. You know, it's different stuff like that. But at the same time, when you go back to look at like how Black people viewed success before the internet, before like everybody was talking about different ways, before that was a thing, before you could just get on a social media site and be exposed to so many different ways of the world, it was the white man's standards, white man's paperwork. So it's not surprising when you hear people say that their parents taught them to code switch, taught them that it was a time and place for everything because those were the standards. They ain't the standards no more. We not doing that.
I hate to be the realist here, but those are still the standards. We still have to go switch
Oh my
and interview for
god.
as much as we would not like it. I don't want to have to switch who I am, switch how I present myself, how I talk for interview. I just it's disgusting. But at the same time, if I want that job, if I want the white man's money, I'm just gonna have to do it.
I'm
It's
just
not a good
saying.
I agree with that, to be honest, because I feel like you don't have to do that in certain aspects, but like in creatives, I feel, because in creatives you're pushed to be yourself. You're pushed to express yourself in the way that you want to. But when applying for a 9 to 5, I'm
Hell
applying
no.
for
I
Yeah.
feel like, but in a way, that's just it's pacifying white people. They'll never know. They're like, bro, I'm done with this until people just are done with it. We've been done with so many other things, and white people just was like, cool. Like black women wearing their hair natural to work. Nobody was ever gonna get over that until black women just started wearing their hair natural to work. Like locks. Nobody
but
was gonna accept that.
I feel like there's not enough people who recognize code switching and the fact that they do it and how not to do it for enough people to like collectively be like, we're going to stop doing this right now. Like, I feel like that could happen in the future, but I feel like in this moment, it's not gonna really change too much because I feel like a lot of younger people, we're very aware of it and very aware of how not to. But like people, I feel like who are in their upper 20s and above kind of just fall into the cycle of being like, well, I just need this job, but like let me just do what I need to do type stuff.
Yeah, it's a no for me. I do understand why people do it, but it's just a no for me.
Yeah, I definitely agree with your points on both sides. I think that I kind of think of it as like how we've been like a lot of times it's been that tattoos and piercings and like colored hair is deemed as unprofessional. And I feel like that that standard or that stigma has like kind of started to move on. I mean, it's not completely gone because obviously people still lose jobs because of tattoos and things, but I feel like it has slowly started to diminish. And I think the same thing can come from code switching, except for the fact that the only problem is that code switching is rooted in racism, while the hair tattoo thing is more of a general societal thing. So I don't know. I feel like it might take longer, but I don't think that we should completely stop doing it. But I also don't think that people should still be like doing it to please the white man, I guess.
I did you say the whole hair thing was not rooted in racism?
Positive.
That's what I heard.
I guess it is. I don't know. I don't actually know.
I'm just asking for
I think we
clarification
want hair
because I
color.
just feel like
That's
I
yeah.
know for a fact that anything outside, anything professionalism is equal to proximity to whiteness.
Exactly.
Kinks and curls, all the way on the other side. Not even.
Hmm.
It's obviously rooted in racism. That's why I was just like, I just don't. I just don't know. I
I mean,
was
yeah,
gonna.
it probably definitely is like piercings and tattoos and
Piercings,
hair
I don't know. Piercings,
colors are probably all rooted in racism, but I think that it's definitely seen more as a societal thing rather than a racial thing. Um, because I think it like sometimes it comes down to like religion and things like that, and as well as like um the standard of what people were supposed to look like, and like not expressing your own creativity and your own individuality. But yeah, I think they definitely can be rooted in racism, but I see those as more of a societal thing. I think they play into each other, because like the societal standard of beauty and what's right and what's not comes from the European standard regardless. So like it's a racial issue that is now a societal issue because they play hand in hand.
Yeah, I also feel like tattoos and hair and piercings, it came from ethnic background anyway. If you look in the tattoos, who was getting them, I can tell you it wasn't the white man. So I'm not saying that black people started it because I just feel like that's incorrect. I am saying that like it wasn't the white people, and since white people came and thought that this was their stuff and somebody died and made them in charge, they felt like we're not gonna get these people jobs that weren't theirs to take. Yeah. Can we talk about Ebonics?
If nobody, oh yeah, that's what I was about to say. If nobody else has anything to say about that topic, I wanted to move on to code switch. I mean, not code switching. I wanted to move on to Ebonics and African American vernacular English.
Can I start?
And yes, go ahead.
Kamari?
Yeah, look, he wanted to start.
Okay, you can go because I was actually gonna start with a question, so you should probably start.
So if you guys did not catch it, in it was in our December issue, me and Zariah, we wrote an op-ed. It was a feature article for the month. And we had basically talked about the stuff that we had asked for throughout 2020 and seeing if we got that at the end. And one of the things that we had talked about it was non-Black people using AAVE, aka African American Vernacular English, if you didn't know. And basically my whole thing is why? Like, I feel like do you, it's just like a question to like the people out there who are doing, like, do you think it's because it's fun? Like, because you have the leisure to act that way in public and not be judged for it. Is that why you do it? Because you know that nothing's gonna happen to you, that you won't be looked at a certain type of way. I just imagine having the privilege to do something that a marginalized community does without the fear of being ridiculed for it. All I'm saying.
I was gonna add that like people, I feel like people do that because the other non-Black people enable them to, and because they feel like it's funny. Directly making a joke off of it. Like I see on social media so much, it like mostly TikTok as of right now. I feel like Black scents are just the new hot commodity. Like almost like every white person is bringing out a Black scent, and then they get views, they get called funny, haha, hee hee, laugh at me. And then a Black person will talk like with AAVE regular, and we're seen as ghetto, or why are you talking like that? Why do you sound like that? So I don't know. I just think that non-Black people are enabling themselves too, because it's just like they're supporting each other. Like, I'm gonna laugh at him because he's talking this way and it's funny to me. And then when I do it, he's gonna laugh at me. Like, we're all just enabling each other here.
What's crazy is I actually agree with you. I actually think it's people in the Black community also enabling non-Black people to act that way. Let's talk about Mr. London Romano. He got all his followers and all his views and also his recognition basically off of impersonating his version of a black woman, the stereotypical
Yeah.
black woman, the stereotypical ratchet, loud, broke, good for nothing black woman that society loves to, that society loves to portray. And it's been constantly times I've holding myself accountable. I've been one of the people to do it. I followed this man. I just don't know what went through my brain because it was entertaining. But like at the same time, why would we allow this? Now we're allowing other people, other non-black people, to think that this type of behavior is okay. Like, please, please.
I wanted to add something on in regards to that as well. Inviting these white people to these cookouts. No, it's not gonna fly. I'm sorry. Just because that young man was able to do whatever that young man did, do not mean that they can come kick it with you. That's why you got so many people thinking they black now and they don't even know they can't spell black with their eyes closed. I just can't.
Human
I won't
decency.
ever be able to.
I just feel like if Billie Eilish called me like, yo,
No,
what you
she
doing?
can't come to the cookout, bro.
And I'm like, for having a cookout with a guy.
Oh my God.
Billy, what's
Ariana,
he
it's
sing
about
that
the
song?
culture.
He still can't come for the culture in the same way that I can't bring Harry Styles for the
Harry
culture.
Styles and Billie Eilish just ain't even, don't do that. Billie Eilish could come to the
Are they
cookout.
white?
Harry Styles could take his.
Yeah, Billy might be able to slide before Harry.
Are they white? Yes or no?
Neither one of them gonna come to mine, but still.
Point being, they cannot come to the cookout. Okay,
Billy done got us through some
we
hard times.
Definitely.
we
They can
applaud.
they can be invited to the therapy session, not the cookout.
Yeah,
No,
Not the cookout.
yeah. We
no.
can't kick it. I could take them to like Harold's or something. We can kick
On me,
it,
but not the
we
cookout.
not. No.
They cannot be near a grill with a black man at it. I call slavery. I don't care.
Slavery. Yeah, like it do get slavery a little bit.
Yeah,
I
that
think-
like. Go ahead.
I
No,
think we
Jada
need
was
to.
talking.
Oh yeah, you were talking. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, it's just another way people, like black people, because I mean, I haven't invited anyone to a cookout, but on like what Kamari said, I have at some point in time followed Landon Romano, like, and enabled him to do what he does. But a lot of black people just continue to enable that by applauding human decency, white human decency, with you can come to the cookout. Like, they didn't do nothing but say they don't hate black people, and there's no award for that. There's no award for being a decent human being. Like, and saying those phrases like you're invited to the cookout, that does nothing but make them feel rewarded for doing things that are basic.
Oh, OMG, you know how much fame that boy on TikTok got? Remember that one white dude? He had explained, I don't know if he was white or not. He was certainly not black. He was basically explaining why his preference, he prefers to date black women.
Mm-hmm.
That man's comments was flooded with, oh,
Do you like black
yeah,
women? Like,
would
February
you date
14th.
me? You're invited to the cookout, blah, blah, blah. Because he likes black women? Why would he
I
dislike black
can't.
women?
He
Why are
probably
y'all
beating on
enabling this
them in
behavior?
private.
I just
It's
think
In his
like,
that
comments, though, like, why are you following him? For
I just think that black people, a lot of times black people, we try as much as we don't want to, we try so hard to make white people feel comfortable when they literally have never made us feel comfortable. And I feel like it's something that needs to stop. They need to cancel the cookout. There's no more cookouts happening. Nobody needs to be invited just because a white man did an African style dance, or because he said that black people deserve rights. It's
Or because
annoying
he
at
knew
this
what
point.
seasoning salt was. They be doing
Exactly.
stupid stuff. Like,
Exactly. And I just feel like with the black scent and the white people, it just seeing it, especially now on TikTok, I see it all the time and it makes me so mad because you look stupid. You don't talk like that. You know you don't talk like that. Especially the people who use black slang, because there's definitely a difference between Ebonics and AAVE and black slang. Black slang is a part of AAVE, but they think that they can use oh sis, oh child, oh, and then they be saying it wrong. It just don't use things that you're not comfortable with. Don't use things that you know is not meant for you. It doesn't make
Right,
sense.
like people like Bad Baby and Whoa Vicky, who have made their entire living off of impersonating their idea of a ratchet black woman, it is paining. It is so frustrating. They have made real money, like real coin, off of something that my sisters get beat, like, what's the word, bullied for, like something that
They
they
dragging them.
literally dog walked for. I don't know, it's just so,
It's
have
so
to stop
hypocritical.
rewarding this behavior.
Go ahead, Kyla.
Okay, so like I don't want to say I didn't know what Ebonics was until I was listening to some song that came up recently that I don't want to talk about. But like, where did that come from? I genuinely don't know where that came from. I never heard of, what is it, AAVE. I never heard of it before, and I'm not sure if it's just because I'm not TikTok culture. Like I don't have a TikTok, so maybe I'm like not up to par. But I was like, what is an Ebonics? What is, and the fact that I found out what Ebonics was from JT is kind of surprising. Like, what, 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 I was so confused. I'm like, what?
I was definitely in the same boat. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know that AAVE was literally a language, like in itself. Like it's a dialect. It's something that is like real. It's not just something that was made up. I saw a TikTok on explaining about it. If I find it, I might put it in the description. We gonna see. But from my understanding, AAVE is is the way that Black people speak by changing the way we is traditionally used the English language. So like how Black people use the word finna, or I'm going to, or like I'm finna go do this, or I'm finna go do that, or like the way certain things, certain words are used in different ways. I don't know why. And another example is completely blanking off of my head.
What you talking about?
Yeah, what you talking about? And all those things, like the fact, the fact that people be like, oh, he be doing this or he be doing that, like the fact that we use the word do or we use tripping or whatever word in both in all past, present, and future tense is that's Ebonics. Like it's not something like you can't walk up. A white person can't say these things and understand the meaning. They'll just think, yeah, oh, you just sound dumb because you're speaking improper grammar. No, we're speaking AAVE.
Wait, so you said Ebonics and AAVE, are they the same thing?
Yeah,
They're interchangeable.
Okay, so I just I don't that just brought me to an experience that I had back in middle school when I was with like a bunch of white people. A white boy basically tried to tell me what I was doing. Like I was kind of addressing I was addressing like racism that was happening at my school and how my classmates were imitating basically a black girl. like the way we speak, using ebonics. And this man gonna tell me, I forgot what he said. That happened like years ago. I ain't been in middle school for years, but like, I just white people need to start minding their business when it do not concern them. Obviously, a hit dog gonna holler, as we mentioned before. Don't say anything. If I wasn't talking to you, don't say anything. White people just don't know how to mind their business. I think they need to stay out of black business. No, support black business, but like stay out of black people business. It's just mind your own. This is no place for you. You have no seat at the table. You have no place in this conversation. I don't know that this whole conversation just made me think like, why do white people feel so entitled to add themselves into our conversations? Like, no, you're the
Why do you
reason
want to be oppressed so bad?
That's
I don't
the
get
thing.
so
that.
bad.
It's the oppression that they gave us. That's the thing. How y'all want the stuff that y'all gave to us? Like, we
You
didn't
can
do
have
We
it
this
back.
for
didn't want
ourselves.
it.
You
We
can
didn't
have it
ask
back.
for
You
it.
can have
You
it.
can
We didn't
have it
ask
back.
for it.
You
You
can
can have it
have
back.
Exactly.
it back.
Baby, I'll
You
wrap
don't
it up
want
and put
it.
a bow on top. You can have it, G.
Exactly.
I don't want it.
It doesn't make sense. And the fact that people have deemed black terms, it's the something for me, it's the something for me, all those terms like that are being used, period, poo, all that stuff, sis, like the fact that people have
Faux,
deemed this,
D.
yes, the fact that people have deemed this Generation Z slang irks my nerves because no, we've been doing this for years.
Black people,
This is not just Generation
as
Z.
soon as black people coin any kind of term, it is almost certain that a white child will come along and play it out just as
Yep.
soon as we can get it. Period. OMG. Child.
Y'all know
What dance they wore out? What dance they wore out? They wore out the dance quickest. Oh, OMG, I used to get so irritated when y'all know back when the dad was cool, when the dad was in like it was, hey. No. OMG. I was in school.
And then, you know what we got out of that?
This white boy, he said,
That's what we got out of that. Ugh.
or
Like,
they hit
OMG.
a
Ooh, I hated that.
I can't tell you how many times I've seen it.
please. No, this is not for you. Stop participating.
Exactly.
You don't
Almost
get it.
every single
This is
dance
not
that
for you.
enters the hands of white people, it gets ruined.
I'm not
It don't
gonna
make no
blame.
sense.
I'm not gonna blame white people for all of my problems, but
No, I
they
am.
responsible for a lot of them.
I'm
They
going
about
to because come on, now.
97.9% of my problems.
They really at like 97%.
Yeah,
No, for like
they up there.
97.9. Like, we can round it up. Like, they're
They
really
up
like
there.
a majority of my problems, which is crazy because I have white people that I affiliate with, but they are like almost 100% of my problem. Literally all the things that cause issues for me now are rooted in racism in one way or another.
Very sick, if you will. It's deep
Very
racism,
sick.
too. Like,
Very sick. It goes way back with racism. Like, the way the way parents teach their children, like the way you go about getting a lifestyle, schooling, all of that, deep rooted in racism. Black people can't have anything. Like, it is just so sick.
so from the bottom of our hearts, if y'all want this oppression, you can have all mine. I'll give it to you for free. I'll put it in a bow, in a pretty bag. Y'all know my gifts come cute. It's a gift from me to you, okay?
All right.
I have a question. I was just thinking because it's been a while since I've had white people who I consider friends. Jada, I have a question. How does it feel? Like, how I've forgotten how it feels, but I can probably somewhat relate. How does it feel like interacting with white people? Because as like I know as you learn or as I learn more about my blackness and how to become more secure in it more than I was before, because now when started surrounding myself around more black people, I started to, allow myself to be myself. How does it feel to regularly interact with white people? Like even with the protests, were they like, did you feel some type of way when they were like, you know?
It's I have definitely started to lessen my affiliation with white people because of like the same reasons of me just being more secure in my blackness, being around other black people. Like, I don't want to say it's weird, but it's weird. It's weird. Like, there was a period of time where I did not talk to my white friends for it had to have been like 5 months. Um, it was right after all of the protests and stuff had happened last year, and a big part of my problem was that all of these white people who claim to be my friend, claim to have my best interests at heart, now we're silent when my issues, my real life issues, my real issues that I deal with every day, when these come to light, now we're silent. Now all I can get from you is a black box on a Tuesday. Like, come on now. We you want to add them
we
too,
couldn't.
because I feel like you should name drop. Just go ahead and name drop. I mean, at this point, why
They know
not?
who they are. I only
I can't
associate with
breathe.
like 3 white people at the moment. They know who they are.
I feel like it's scarier when they know who they are.
I feel like they should know who they are because I've made it very clear how frustrated I was when nobody said anything. How could you call yourself my friend, an ally, or whatever you want to call it, and you didn't even have the decency to, I don't know, I feel like posting is very performative, but you didn't even take that step because you were scared of what the other white people in your community were going to think of you. So that just goes to show what you think about me. Clearly, I'm not worthy enough of your support, I guess.
Just say white
But
people juice or whatever white people have. Like, what do they even have?
but all in all, to answer the question, it's weird. It's weird, and it has been weird for a while. And they know that it's weird, and I know that it's weird, and I've stopped doing it. I haven't completely phased myself out of the situation, but it's happening, and we all know that it's happening because, like, if you have to act a certain kind of way when I bring my blackness to light, then I don't know what to tell you. I'm not gonna associate with you regardless.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like I feel like back when I was like dealing with white people, I just feel like if I have to have two separate friend groups, which is fine, but if I feel super very uncomfortable with mixing those two friend groups, if it's something as simple as like my birthday, feeling like they probably gonna feel some type of way around one certain friend group, I will probably, I don't know. It's just something that I will have to reevaluate, which is why I had to stop associating myself with white people because I just found too much of myself feeling like I had to.
It was last year. For my 16th birthday, I had planned this whole hurrah. I had rented a hotel room downtown. I had planned to go get dinner. Like, I had invited like 5 or 6 of my white friends at the time. I told my other friends something
I'm gonna
along the
insert
lines
myself.
of
She told me I'ma just spend time with my white friends, and I said okay.
I said I have 2 friend groups and I don't like to mix them because
He
I
told
don't.
me I'ma spend this birthday with my white friends. That's what he said.
I don't believe I said that verbatim.
In Dr. Long's FIT class. It was
I don't
5th
think I was
period.
bold enough for that. But essentially, moral of the story, they did not make the time for me that I made for them. Okay, I ended up with, out of those 5 or 6 people that I invited and I planned for, 1 person. By the end of the night, I was left with 1 person. I had 2. One of them went home. 1 person. And that's my closest white friend today. Like, she actively makes the time to make the time for me. When she has questions about Black issues, I make sure I give her that comfortable space to come ask me questions, because you're never going to know unless you ask.
We don't need to make them comfortable. Oh my God.
Not like, if she asks me a question, I'm not gonna bash her and be like,
You should.
this was a Google search. Like, if you feel,
I can't blame. I literally cannot blame you. That's how I used to be too. With like my white friends, whenever they were curious about something like
now,
Black related, if they're curious and they genuinely want to know, and they don't want to be ignorant to like culture, to like Black culture, at least a little bit, I'm not finna tell you my whole life story. I'm not finna tell you about the cookouts. I'm not finna do all that. But if you have like a simple question, just something that you're genuinely curious about, I don't mind educating you, especially if I consider you a friend of mine.
exactly. Like, okay, if you
can't
ask
blame
me if you ask me a dumb question, I'm not gonna entertain it.
What's dumb?
But OMG, I'm gonna have to come back to that.
What
But-
hair products do you use? What hair products do you use?
Right, that's a dumb question. Why would you ask me that? But
Because they want to be you.
But shit, like, one of my white friends had a genuine question about the riots and stuff that was happening last summer, and I was happy to answer, because she could have, but she's my friend, and so I felt like, okay, I didn't mind informing her on what was going on. It's not that she didn't know what was going on, but she wasn't exactly, I guess, comprehending the situation.
I think it becomes a problem when every single Black issue that they're curious about, they come to you. I don't think it's an issue when, like, it's something that they obviously, like, if they have their own research, like, they did the research and they're like, oh, yeah, I read this or this and that and the third, I just want you to, like, can you further explain? I think that's fine. That you being their main source of education, or them feeling entitled to you being their teacher, I think that's when it becomes a problem.
Right. I agree with that. Like, she understood what was going on, but just wanted, I guess, that space for me to further explain further, like, without being demonized, I guess is the word I'm looking for.
That's the word we're looking for.
Yeah, demonized for asking those questions, which I didn't mind doing.
You are
I don't mind it.
Wonderful person.
I don't mind educating,
No, for
but
real.
don't think that I'm the book.
Okay, I might be a little summary on outside the book. No, I'm kidding.
Don't ask me why racism started, but I don't mind informing you on some issues. Don't ask me, like, the root of racism. How do I solve racism? I don't know. Stop asking me dumb questions. But if you have a genuine question and you've tried to figure it out, I don't mind further explaining.
I think that's it. Mm-hmm. You
I
want to take
think
us out,
Ariana actually gonna cuss us out if we don't actually.
Ariana, can you come back so we can close? OMG. You and
I was
your
gonna come back with a quick, just let me go. Yeah, only 3. See y'all later. Have a good day. Enjoy your weekend.
Andre gotta close us out.
Andre, can you close us out? I want to leave.
Oh, my eyes hurt, bro. Can we make this quick?
That's it, y'all. That's all 3 episodes. It's been Balm After Hours with the writers of Balm. Peace out.
It's really after hours too, bro. It's 10 o'clock. Like,
Oh, it's really after hours. Like,
Dead ass.
Give it after bedtime. After
no, it's
After dinner?
It's definitely.
After dinner?
after dinner.
Oh my god.
Yes, definitely
Can
after
we leave
dinner.
before
My dinner's
Ariana
at
blame us for her
12
not eating?